Hello everyone. Hope you guys are having an amazingly awesome day. I definitely have had a great day. Some good things are happening and cooking over here. So I know, guys, I've been sharing information with you all, like on my personal page, my business pages, about standards and raising your standards in 2018. And that has been like my huge theme, is definitely wanting people to raise their standards. And that's the only way to really change your life, is to raise your standards. A lot of people want to change their lives by making some new goals or going out and buying something. And don't get me wrong, upgrades are so important. However, in order for your life to change, you have to decide what your standards are going to be. And so one of the most important set of standards I want to talk about is the ones you have for the way other people treat you and the way you treat yourself. So the way that you treat yourself is an example and a standard for how other people are going to treat you. I would say about 90% of the time. Sometimes you're just going to have people that are going to treat you wrong because they don't love themselves. They just lash out on you because maybe you really do, love yourself and you believe in yourself. So you may have some people that just don't care and are reckless. But however, like I said, about 90% of people treat you the way that you treat yourself. So if there's someone out there that you know who has a hard time, like maybe standing up for themselves, maybe they feel like they can't do certain things, they don't believe in themselves, they talk down on themselves, please share this video with them, because I'm going to be giving out some different strategies, tips, and tools to where they will be able to actually fully stand up for themselves and be the example of how other people need to treat them. And definitely feel free to comment below, especially if you relate to this, or if you feel like, wow, like this is an important part and I need to apply it. Definitely feel free to chime in the comments below. All right, so looking at how you treat yourself, first of all, you are the CEO of your own life. What I mean by that is other people don't run your life, you run it. So if your life is not the way you want it to be, that's your fault. Let me say that again. If your life is not the way you want it to be, it's your fault. And you have to take that responsibility, because what happens is a lot of people, they will blame everything on everyone else. Have you ever heard that person that's like, oh, I'm not where I want to be in life because my parents, the way they raised me, and it wasn't right, it wasn't fair, or I can't do certain things because my past relationship, it did this to me, it did that to me. Guys, you are responsible for your own life. And if it's something you don't like, something you don't agree with, you have the power to be able to change it. If you guys are commenting, I cannot see it, but I will go back to it. But anyway, you have the power to be able to change those things to make you feel very strong. Oh, 1-1. We're having 11 viewers at this time. 11 is a great number for manifestation and God's angels surrounding you. Awesome. So excited about that. Okay, so like I said, you're the CEO of your own life, and you get to make those choices as to who you allow in your life, what you allow to go on in your life. So let's say that you are the CEO and someone wants to come into your life, whether that's a business partner, a friendship, a relationship, anything like that. They should start off at the entry level. And when I say entry level, I mean like they're just starting off. You're giving them a certain amount of time that they have to meet certain set of standards, and then they can move up to the next position. Once they meet all those standards that you have in place, okay, they can move up. What's happening is, and I am very guilty of it, that's why I can talk about a lot of different things, because I've done it myself and I have the experience to know. Sometimes we allow people that should be at entry level to be under the CEO. So maybe they're the vice president. And then we get mad when they can't perform vice president duties, when they didn't go through the training. And we just bump them up so quickly. And then we're looking like, why did this happen to me? Like, this is not fair. Like, there's no way. I couldn't have seen this coming. Yes, you could have. You have to put a certain time period. You have to allow relationships to develop, relationships to build, instead of rushing straight through. Like, you have to make sure that you lay out what you expect at each level in your life. And there are some people that are not going to be able to move up from entry level, so you keep them there. Or people that you accidentally moved up as the vice president, maybe you need to move them back down. Maybe you need to, oh yeah, I'll explain that in just a second. Maybe you'll need to move them back down because they didn't fit. I've had a lot of people in my life that I felt like I was so close to, cared so much about, but then like they would do some of the craziest things, but I had already put them in that position in my life, and now it's like, gosh, like, I have to move you back down. And it hurts because you want them to be closer and closer to you, but at the same time, it's not worth it. It's not worth it for having someone in your life that shouldn't be there at a higher position, because you're going to expect more of them. Your standards are going to be higher for them, and they're just not ready. So you have to move them back down. You have to allow them to grow, and maybe at some point they'll work their way back up, but they're not. So as you're the CEO, you have a corporation, you are a corporation, you have to look at, is somebody an asset or a liability to your life? So an asset is someone that's always giving, someone that when you give, they give. Not that you're trying to always get something in return, but it should be reciprocity. Like, that's a strong relationship. If your relationships are not returning something to you, you probably need to let it go. Or, for example, if you're their mentor, so like, for example, when you have like a mentor type of relationship, you can't expect them to give back to you because they may not be capable of it. But if you are like, oh, you saw it too, yeah, but if they are capable, then they should be giving back to you. And if they're not capable, okay, then like I said, like, okay, that's fine. They have to stay at a lower level. But if they're not giving something back to you, you need to just let them go. And that's okay. Just put them in their place in your life. All right. All right. So somebody asked about the 11:11. Yes. So I wholeheartedly believe in God's angels, and so certain numbers mean certain things. Like, for example, 2018, 8 is the number of new beginnings, so I believe that this year is a rebirth, new beginnings. I saw 11:11. Right now I'm seeing like a lot of sevens, so I just take into account like the numbers that I'm seeing. But 11 meaning like manifestation is on its way, so be very cognizant of your thoughts. Your angels are there with you, and things are about to quicken itself. All right, so I want to give you guys some examples of knowing like if your standards are in place, and so that way people can treat you the way that you really desire to be treated, but most of all the way you deserve to be treated. So first thing, how do you talk to yourself on a daily basis? I'm not talking about out loud or what you tell people. I'm talking about in your head. What do you say to yourself? Oh, you're welcome, Peggy. What do you say to yourself? Do you say like, I'm beautiful? Do you say I look good today? Or are you like, no, I look fat. I could lose another 7-8 pounds. I could do this. If you're always downing yourself, other people are going to down you. The way you treat yourself on the inside is a reflection of the outside. And if you notice your outside world is going down, it's because your internal world is not where it needs to be. It's not where it needs to be. And so you're only going to get what you're working on in the inside. So yes, I'm that girl that walks by the mirror every day and I'm like, oh, you look good. I'm the person that when I'm working out inside, because one thing I'm working on my vision board, I don't think you can see it on that side, I'm working on getting my 6-pack abs back, what I had in high school. So I will work out like with my sports bra on, and I'm like, yeah, girl, you got a 6-pack. Like I'll do those different things. I'm talking to myself in a positive way because I know if I keep talking and speaking life to myself, whatever it is that I'm desiring for me is going to manifest itself. And guys, I encourage you to use I am statements quite a bit as well. So anything, first of all, God is the great I am, right? So anything that you utilize with I am statements, you're going to become that. So I didn't have like true affirmations when I first started using I am statements. I just focused on like I am patient, I am gracious. Like I just used certain words that I wanted to become as a woman. And then I started adding on more things like I am patient with everyone I encounter. Like I started adding on more and more. But you need to do it in every area of your life for your I am statements. I encourage you guys, if you would like, you can comment on this video when you come up with some I am statements for your spirituality, your mental health, physical health, even looking at your finances and even your relationships. So one thing for me is in all my relationships, I seek peace. So I will say I am a peaceful person that everyone gets along with, because that's significant to me. And like, I am those things, and you become whatever you say you are. So I encourage you to write those I am statements so that you can talk to yourself better, because self-talk is the reason why a lot of people don't achieve so much in their lives, because they're so mean to themselves. You should be your own best friend. Again, you should be your own best friend. Sometimes the things that people say in their heads is 10 times worse than what they would ever say to anyone else. You have to be mindful of that, because whatever you're saying to yourself is what you're going to get. And that's just the bottom line. That's just what it is. So, another part of knowing that you treat yourself well and you're setting the standard and tone for others is, how do you treat and see yourself? So, how you treat yourself, I'm talking about like, for example, do you work out so you can live for like 70 something years? Or are you eating foods that are horrible for you? Oh, thank you, girl. Are you eating foods that are horrible for you? And I'm sorry, like, I do understand, like, some people, when it comes to food, they're like, oh no, that's too expensive. I get it. But let me tell y'all something. Last night was my first time making kale chips, right? Kale is like $3. So I can use kale to go in my smoothie. I can use kale to go in when I make like rice and tofu, I can use kale to go in some chips. You can do a lot of stuff with that $3 bag of kale, while you may go out and spend like 50 cents on one bag of chips, but you're probably going to wind up getting 6 or 7, and those bag of chips aren't healthy for you, and you can't repurpose chips, like they're just chips. What is it going to hurt to spend $3 on kale? So health, I don't even know what to say about that, but you're putting good foods into your body that's going to help you to be able to survive. That means you care about yourself. You care about your future. You care about the people that are around you by taking care of yourself. Okay? Do you go, it's simple things. Do you go get checkups and make sure you're okay? Do you, let's see, general, like, hygiene things. Do you go, as a woman, do you go and take care of yourself and you get your hair done? Or do you do it yourself? Right? I'm not saying go out there and spend a bunch of money, but there are things that you should be doing for yourself. Do you take an hour to sit down for yourself? There's something that's really important to me, and that's my morning routine. My hour to 2 hours in the morning, I will not answer my phone. I don't care if former President Barack Obama calls me. He can leave a voicemail or a text message. I'll get it. But my time to myself is important, and your time to yourself should be important. That's how you know when you treat yourself well, because you put up those boundaries and standards, and people aren't going to try to knock them down because they know what you have in place. Guys, it's crazy though too, because I learned about standards through when I was in college, and I heard Tamara Mari Housley. Okay, I was trying to think of her last name now. Housley, she was saying like guys would not ask her out in college, and she thought something was wrong with her, and then she found out it was because she was like quote unquote wifey material, and they weren't ready for that. Guys, I experienced that as well. Guys that I was like friends with in college, I never thought anything of it. I wasn't even trying to date them, but they said, Jasmine, I really liked you when we were in college. I'm like, what? Like, I had no clue. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. But they were like, I've never tried to talk to you because of the tone and standards that you had in place for your life. I knew I couldn't meet them, and I wasn't going to try to bring you down. That let me know, okay, Jasmine, clearly you have high standards, whether you believe it or not. They just see something else in you, and that should be what other people are like. When they know they can't break down your standards, what's in place for you, they're not even going to try to. They're not, because they know that you're going to like swerve them. Like, no, like this is not how this goes. You set the tone based on how you treat yourself. I talked about also too, how do you see yourself? Let me go back to that. So what's the greatest, highest version of yourself? I'm not talking about who you are today. I'm talking about like the big version of yourself. If you were like up to the peak of your life, what do you look like? So I want you to hold that in your mind. So for me, I see myself as an international speaker. I see myself as a 25-time best-selling author. I see myself as having an award-winning talk show where I'm interviewing the grandest like people in the world, on the planet, whatever. Like that's the version of myself that I see. And sometimes a lot of people, they see the old version of themselves. They're holding on to their past. And what's going to happen is when you constantly hold on to your past is going to keep showing up. So you have to create a new vision for yourself and how you see where your life is headed. So another way to know if you have good standards and if you're treating yourself well and how others are going to treat you is you think about your choices. So let me talk about choices. Thank you guys for the hearts, thumbs up. Again, share this video because I think it's going to help a lot of people to really see and put standards in place for themselves so that they can have a better life and be more successful. So, your choices are very important to you. You have to do what's best for you as well as the people that are around you. So my choices for my life, honestly, like I'm always thinking about my future husband. I'm always thinking about my future kids and the things that I'm doing now to make sure that they are going to have the most successful, best lives whenever they do like come into my life and into this like place. So think about your choices. Like, for example, if you had to choose, should I continue to work at a job that I really don't like and I don't feel like I'm as successful as I could be? Or am I going to choose to go after my dream that God told me to, but I may not make as much money as I do now? So when you look at those choices, it's like, oh, I should just stay on my job. But then what you don't realize is that if you stay in a place that you don't like or that you're just doing it for the money, whatever the case is, you're not really truly loving yourself, because if you loved yourself, you would choose to do the things that light you up. You would choose, of course, to be obedient to God and follow whatever path you're supposed to follow instead of relying on something that can easily be snatched or taken away. If you really love yourself, you're going to make choices to follow your path that you need to follow. You're going to choose to cut relationships off when they're not working for you, when it's not prospering you, when it's draining you. You're going to be more mindful of who's in your circle, who is in your life. You're going to be mindful of the music you listen to, guys. I mean, it's the small things. Like, there are even some church songs that I do not listen to because it talks so negatively. Like, I'm down, I'm out, I can't do anything else. I don't want to listen to that all the time because I'm going to become what I'm listening to. So that's a choice because I love myself, because I have such a high standard. There are some things I'm just not willing to do. There are some foods that I'm not willing to eat. And the list goes on and on. But when you set that standard, it's going to help other people to see, hey, she's very serious about this. She's not going to bend on this. Or, you know, there's no way that we can go around this. Of course, you do have to compromise when it's the right people. And that, I mean, that's about deep relationships. Like, they're past the entry level that I talked about earlier in the video. If you are just joining in, I definitely want you to catch the replay because I explained that you are the CEO of your life and what a corporation is, what liabilities, assets are, all that good stuff. So I am so excited because I opened up 3 spots for my one-on-one coaching program, which is phenomenal because I have decided to add the piece in, actually a couple of different pieces. So of course there's always, I have mindset and business coaching with the Queen's Table one-on-one coaching program. Love mindset. Like, my clients have brought in thousands of dollars. They have picked up new clients. They have stronger personal lives. I mean, you name it, like, my clients are knocking it out of the park. But I realized that I'm really good at rebranding and restructuring, which is what I've been doing for my clients. And then if you've noticed in the past few days, if you follow me on my Facebook pages or if you're in my She's Worthy Facebook group, you'll see that like I've been changing up a lot of things, and I've had wonderful momentous results because of it, because I'm rebranding, because I'm marketing. And I've always been, you know, good at it, but I've focused it, you know, on other people and my clients. I'm like, wow, my clients are doing really, really well, and I want to see more people continue to grow. So whether you are a new entrepreneur, or maybe, you know, you're a veteran entrepreneur, everyone can use some rebranding. Everyone can use some new structuring. So that is another piece that I'm adding to my coaching program. So it's not just going to be, you know, oh, let's just talk about your business. Let's just make a sales funnel. I mean, that stuff is great. That stuff is important, and we're going to go over it. But I want to bring up upgrading. I want you to look at, okay, you need to make changes. You need to improve. Because if you're not trying to improve the quality of the products and the services that you have for your customers, they're going to be bored with you. They're going to be absolutely bored with you. And they're not going to feel like you have more to offer. Every single one of my clients sign on to work with me after our first 3 months of working together. They're like, no, Jasmine, like I have to work with you longer. It's for a reason. That reason is because they know that there's more to offer. There's more, you know, that I have to give them. And so if you are interested, definitely message me. I've had about 4 people message me in the past few days who have reached out and want one-on-one coaching. I don't want to have to turn anyone down, but only 3 spots are available. So if that is you, if you're looking to rebrand, restructure, if you need mindset work to help you, if you are even just ready to start your new business, but maybe you don't know exactly what to do, whatever the case is, definitely feel free to message me. And I want to make sure that you have exactly what you need so that you can really fully step into 2018 at the highest, greatest version of yourself. You are up-leveling your standards. Things that you used to do, you're like, nope, I'm not doing that anymore because I'm on a new path. I'm excited about the journey. Like, that's what you need to be thinking in 2018. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, please feel free to share this message. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, like, all that good stuff. And I want you guys to connect with me too in my She's Worthy Facebook group. I'm going to put the link down below, as well as the link for my YouTube channel. I'm really picking up a lot more in my YouTube channel. Some great things come out every single Thursday. I want to keep you guys engaged, enthused. So thank you guys so much, and have a wonderful, wonderful night.